Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Dirty Derbs Racing YouTube channel. My name is CJ and today we are screwing up some tires, literally. Let me explain. Okay, so here I have a set of 315 35 R20s and I'm about to put about roughly 3,500 screws in these two tires, so we can go ice racing with the S10. This is my 1990 S10. It's a twin turbo 408 stroker deal, turbo 400, big old shear fab, air to water, and I take this truck everywhere. I do everything with it. Summer, we did a sick day at the Plates and 28s. I street drive this thing all over town. I just do all kinds of stuff with it. I've been autocross racing in this truck. I have done dirt drags in this truck. I have pulled a trailer hours away to pick up a side-by-side one time. I also did the same thing to pick up three-wheelers on the back of it. So I use this truck a lot for a lot of different things. But we are going to build a new set of ice racing tires, and these are what I'm going to use. These big old run flat tires. I mean, look at the surface here. So I've already started on this, and here's the pattern that I'm going to be going with and doing. Let me get some light here. So basically, there's some lines in the tires. Yeah, you can see them right there. And then I just used a Sharpie and connected the lines. There's about 10 to 11 screws from one side to the other, and this is what they look like on the outside. Pretty gnarly. So these screws are number 10 by 1.5 inches. They're actually cabinet screws. This is a box of 2,000, which I think I will blow through pretty quick on these. I've got another box, and actually I've got a whole nother box that's on order, but not here yet. But I'll have plenty of extra screws. I may build another set of tires later on. So that's what we're doing. These tires probably going to take, I don't even know how long, 6 hours to do. It's going to take a long time. So we go racing up in Merrill, Wisconsin. I think it's at the very top side-ish of Wisconsin. We go out onto I don't know if it's a lake bed or a little slough of the river, but they do the whole track. It's a 1/8 mile track on the ice. You can drive your truck and trailer and you pit on the ice and do 1/8 mile drags. I'll post a couple of short clips of the couple of times that I've gone to do it. Okay, so now you've seen what that looks like and how awesome it is. Super cool for us because in the middle of winter, these things just sit in the garage and they're not doing anything. I mean, sometimes, the winter is like our downtime to take these things apart and do upgrades and yada yada. Well, I'm not doing too much of that right now. So truck is in one piece, so we're going to keep racing. And hopefully we can do pretty well. I've got a couple other things I want to do to the truck to get ready for this. I've got a big old plate of steel that I'm going to put back here. I am also going to build a butt hurt bar, a short one, a small one. It's not going to get radical, but it's going to come out to about here, and maybe I can get 150 pounds on it or something. And then I need to raise the truck back up. I've got some lowering blocks. Those are coming out. Lift this thing back up. For the front has to come way up. The front of this truck sits really low, so I think the last time I was there, it was the exhaust or the fairing was tripping the beams for the starting line, and that was kind of messing me up. So what I want to do, I think the easiest way to do this is just find a set of stock S10 spindles, and because these are 2-inch drop spindles. So if I can raise this thing up 2 inches, we'll be in real good shape. So also, I'll show you the wheels that I'm going to be using. Instead of 20-inch IROC replicas that I've had since the week that they came out, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Well, this is super fun and exciting, but I'll probably throw you on time lapse and show you how I do it. I basically put on my headlamp and then my little smallest drill. I just throw in a couple handfuls of screws and then just start going to town. All right, so that's about how that's done. I think that right there took me, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or something. So I'm basically almost done. So when you get about this far, after talking to people who have been doing this for years, I asked them about my spacing and the pattern and everything, and they said you need to really get started like on the screws, and then, you know, do 10 rows or so, and then just kind of step back and look at the pattern and see if you really like it or not. And I know that I could go further on the side for a little extra, but the way that my truck's set up, I'm worried about it tearing up the bed or whatever, and then right inside the bed goes up into the wheel well, so I got more space. So I would like to leave the screws maybe inside the wheel well. And the last time I had these tires on, it actually used to rub the bed. Oh yeah, here we go. And the bed actually wore this groove into the tire from it being so low and rubbing on it. So anyway, I'm going to try to keep the tread off this side if I can. I might go back and put maybe one more row down the side. I think I've got a little extra space. But I think the pattern's looking good. I think my spacing is good. I think you can have too many screws, and you can also have too less of screws. So I think this pattern's looking pretty good. But now would be the time, if I wanted to change something, I really need to figure it out, because I can't get screws in between. You know, it's going to be really hard with these fat heads to get a screw in between in the middle of these. So if I don't like my pattern, I need to tighten this up a lot right now. But honestly, I think it's looking pretty good. I don't know. I think it's looking pretty right, honestly. So I think I'm just going to keep rocking and rolling with this pattern, and hopefully I don't have to go in and add more. Like I said, it's just going to be really tough. You're not going to be able to get, there's not a lot of these spaces. And I'm not measuring across or anything. I'm just kind of going, I'd say from center to center. These are about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just eyeballing it, and it's looking pretty good. So keep rocking and rolling. Only like 6 more hours. All right, guys, we got one tire done, and I kind of went through and added another row, and then I tried to find any spots that anywhere that I could fit a screw head, I'd put a screw there. So I think I used more screws than I expected to use. I mean, I bet there's probably less than 200 screws in there, so that means I used roughly about 1,800 screws in this one tire. Check this thing out. That is gnarly. I'm pretty stoked. Also, check this out. I went to the shop and made myself a little butt hurt bar. It goes into the parachute mount. It's kind of stuck in there at the moment. Oh, whoops. But it's like inch and a half. But then I was able to get some square stock all the way through it. I just had to grind down the corners, and I welded it in there. And this thing, actually, let's go see how much it weighs right now. Oh yeah, here's my 20s, my wheels. Those things I think were like 30-something pounds. So just this bar so far weighs 12 pounds. So that's nothing. I'm hoping to get like 150 pounds on this bar. But this wheel weighs, we'll call it 35 pounds, okay? And then we'll weigh, oh yeah, I wanted to weigh the tires before and after the screws. So I haven't even touched this tire yet. Oh, let's see how much it weighs. 43 pounds. All right, probably have to put my phone down to grab this other tire so I don't die. All right, 60 pounds. So that means I added dang near 18 pounds of screws to this tire. And I may be able to add a couple of more, a little bit through here. I haven't decided yet. I need to keep the outer edges clear of the wheel wells in the back. But so we got 60 pounds plus 35 pounds. That's 95 pounds. That's almost 100 pounds of tire and wheel. That's pretty wild. Well, one thing led to another. I decided that there's no point of having this huge tire if I'm not going to go as far as I can from edge to edge. So I literally finished off the box of screws. That's 2,000 screws in this tire alone. And that probably took me, I bet it took 4 or 5 hours, roughly. So not really looking forward to doing that one, but it needs to be done. So I'll get to that. But 2,000 screws, man. So that's, I mean, that's got to put it right at 100 pounds wheel and tire combo. So that is pretty wicked. Holy crap, this took forever. So got the other tire done and cleaned it all out in here with some brake clean. Let it dry up a minute. Then we're gonna lather these puppies up with some Flex Seal. Some gray, just use a paintbrush. I'll pour it in here and hopefully that does the trick. So I'll do that, let you know how it turns out. You know, if that doesn't seal up 2,000 screws in your tire, I don't really know what will. Looking pretty good, looking pretty even. Gonna let them soak in the heater, or by the heater I should say. And maybe do some rotating after an hour or two. See how it tacks up. Go get them mounted up tomorrow, hopefully. Here at the tire shop, and struggling really hard to get these wheels and tires mated with each other. So hopefully it works, but we need 3 people and 5 tire spoons to make it happen. about to go. Woo! All right. Now will it hold air? All right, we got the tire on the wheel, but we got to get the beads to seal up now. This bead is really folded in, so the screws are sticking out, so we really need to get it, once it pops out on the bead, hopefully these screws come back up as far as they can, because that's not good sticking straight out the side like that. All right, we're barely getting it. We got to keep walking the bead on with a pry bar. Got the bead of the tire rolled so far in, but we're getting it slowly. It's going. All right, guys, we're here at 309 Customs, and we were working on these ice tires, and we finally got it mounted. We worked on this for a couple hours, and I was at the point where I was almost ready to give up, and I think they were about ready to give up. And we had like 2/3 of the beads set, but we just couldn't get one spot to set. And I'll be honest, I was about to start over, and we just ended up breaking the whole thing down, all the way down, and then made it even, and then it just popped right on after that. So that's the craziest thing. That looks so good. Can't wait to clean up the wheels, get the wheels shining up again. Holding air, no leaks so far. All right, guys, we finally got all of these tires mounted up onto the wheels. Absolute nightmare. The wheel, as I've stated before, is only 8 inches wide. The tire is a 315. It's like 12 inches wide. So it's really hard. The tire is already a run flat, so it's so stiff. And then when you add 20 pounds of screws to it, it doesn't get any more flimsy. So it took us like 2 tire shops and probably combined of like 7 hours, maybe 6 hours total to get some of these wheels to seat up on the bead. It was a struggle. Anyway, but they're done. They look, and not this one, but this is the first one that we got done. I cleaned the wheel all up. We just got back from a car show. It was an indoor car show here local, and I had this on display. People are losing their minds, of course. Since we put air in it 3 days ago, it has not lost a single pound of air. So take that, internet, you know. These, on the other hand, these I tried to use a couple years ago. I put screws in them, and then I took the screws out. Well, all I did now was put more screws in the same holes. So they leak, and it sucks. I'm going to put some tire slime in them. This tire, you can tell, is just completely trashed. This tire still looks good, but still leak like crazy. Both of the fronts leak. I'm going to try to get some tire slime in them. Hopefully that seals them up. I think next year I'll build a set of like front runners, but these are brand new tires, and I just got these wheels polished up, so I'm not going to destroy those this time. Next year I'll spend a little more time. I'll buy a different set of wheels and tires to keep some of the weight, rotating mass off the front end. So we just got an oil change, and then this thing had antifreeze in it, but I bought a little antifreeze tester. If you don't have these, it's like $4 at O'Reilly's. And this thing was not good to freeze anywhere below like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I just drained a gallon or so of antifreeze out of this thing, filled her up with straight. And then I also have to do the same thing to the ice tank, which I just did. Looks pretty nasty in there. But there was almost no antifreeze in here, and I knew that already. But plenty of antifreeze in it now, and I'm really hoping that I don't have to buy any more, but you gotta do what you gotta do, because I have froze one of these intakes, which is up there in a box, and I didn't even realize that I did it. It didn't leak, but it expanded the core on the inside and laid all the fins over. So a third of my old intake was not flowing air for the past 2.5, 3 years. So Got a new one of those. Don't want to do that again. That was expensive. But man, other than that, I think I need to raise the back up a little bit. Need to raise the front up if I have time. I'm running out of time, so I think worst case Ontario, I might pull off the front bumper and the fairing. And then I've got little bullhorn extensions that I use for sick summer. I might throw those on there so it doesn't trip the beams. But other than that, it's coming together. I put heat in the trailer, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so we'll kind of keep chipping away here. Okay, well here's a pretty prime example on why this $4 tool comes in handy. I just dumped 1.5 gallons of straight antifreeze in there and mixed it with the little bit of water that was in there, at least how much I thought was in there. Well, I think the lines in that cooler hold way more than I thought, because this thing is only reading 10 degrees. So at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when this water is going to freeze. So I at least need to add probably a whole nother 1.5 gallons of antifreeze, of straight antifreeze in here to keep this deal happy. So no big deal. I'll go get some more antifreeze. Also, bed liner. I just did that this week right before the car show deal. Woo! She looks nice. Way nicer than it did before. All right, well, I've pretty much got everything done that I can think of to get ready to race this weekend. The rear tires are done, the front tires are done. I lifted up the rear of the truck about 1 inch. I would have loved to do the front, but honestly, I'm pretty much out of time at this point. So racing's in 2 days. I don't have time to take the front of the truck apart and put it back together. So worst case scenario, I may take off the front bumper if it messes with the timing system. The front of this truck sits really low, so that's going to be it for today's video. Tune in a couple days. Hopefully, I'll have the next video out of actually racing this thing. And hopefully we get to come home with another trophy, or at least a plaque. So our goal is at least 110 miles per hour. I would love to go 110 miles per hour on the ice, 8th mile racing. So if you like what we've done here, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one. See you.